The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Fights through and now a crease. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive. And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he works free. So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. He'll look to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Back to throw now on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so fourth from the bottom, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
60 Pittsburgh.
Back to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Freeman. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Freeman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 4th down, it's Trevor Daniel to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Lets it fly for Treadwell. And got his man complete. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 19. With that interception. interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
And it's caught. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point try, good by Gano. And a rout is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get 1 mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Rough so far for him. That's the only way to describe it. He's thrown more completions to the other team than he has to his. 3 INTs thus far.
Love the description. Rough, rocky, shaky, all of those things. But this is where you find out about a quarterback, isn't it? This is where you find...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
I'm coming after you. Hit the end.
Looking to throw. Freeman. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. From the gun on 3rd down. Freeman. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Knox, and able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10.
He's coming. We got double up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Off play action. Freeman. And that is incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Off the bootleg, Freeman. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll look to throw here. And McDonald here over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. That's caught. It's Thomas. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Gano the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They run the counter. Knox. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Freeman. And that will be incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Well, they did go run, so you were right. Maybe a little more breathing room for 4th down.
Well, no one wants to be accused of playing it safe, right? But instead, they would just reverse it and say, we're playing it smart.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey, you got 3 down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Freeman completes it to Watt. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw on 3rd down, Freeman. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williamson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 18. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Throw left side complete. That's Williamson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
58.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Freeman. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. From the gun, Freeman. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Ready up. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Lead River.
On play action, they'll throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Hey, watch the slant.
On 2nd down, Knox. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come on, now. Check 99. Check 99. Run it.
Operating from the gun, Freeman. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Williamson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, he shifts past him. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
That one a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. On the left side, it's McDonald. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down, Freeman. And he fires one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again, Freeman. It's complete to Watt. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Freeman. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. Kamara now to return. And just shedding him off there. A good return there, 17 yards. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2nd and 5. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and it's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They're going to look to throw. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A quick pass out to Juju. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Come on, set. 15, Lonnie. 15 line.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo.
Let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. 2nd and 10. And he finds Austin complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A 10-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. Back to the air on second down. Freeman. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Freeman. It's wearing the tight end with it. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. All right, let's shift our attention here to Vance McDonald. And we see here the productivity certainly has decreased from the start of the game, but sometimes people forget these tight ends, they can do more than just catch the football.
That is so true because now when things start to happen and you're not getting the ball as much, maybe you change your focus on the game. Maybe you become a very good decoy. Maybe you block a little bit more. But sometimes you have such a great first half, you expect it to continue to roll, and it doesn't just happen that easily in the second.
Well, they have been able to shut him down at least as of late.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
We got three.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch out.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Here we go on the double. Here we go. 57. Mike, 57.
Now Kamara. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Check.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Try to punch it in with Henry. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Hines. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, Freeman. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. On 1st down, Freeman. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Freeman. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Sack City, baby.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.